Hello and welcome back to Arlnoff's channel. I showed you recently a 7-segment number display. That has evolved now. After creating the display, I realized it needed something to actually display, so I created a calculator, my first one actually, which ended up taking much longer than the display itself. So, here I will show you the workings of the calculator. So, anyone who does not know what 4 plus 8 is, please pay attention. So, pressing 4. You don't really have to, but I'm going to wait for it to show up on the display. So 4. You have to press the plus button. That toggles which memory bank the number goes into. 4 plus 8. Now we wait for it to do its thing, and ooh, the answer is 12. Amazing. I'm sure none of you actually knew that. Clear. So we'll reset all of the memory cells, and it goes back to 0. Now, how does this work? Well, the numbers are converted to binary right here, sent along these 4 lines, I think. Aesthetic, I don't even really know how my thing works. Okay, yes, that is the clear line. Those 4 carry the information about which number you inputted, and this line is the toggle for which number you're entering. So, the bits get split up here, and are put through this complicated AND gate that either puts it into this memory cell or this memory cell, in this case. So if it's on, then this will be put into which cell? If it's on, it will be put into that cell, and if it's off, it will be put into that cell. That goes for all 8 of these memory cells, so you end up with 2 numbers stored. Goes through these things called adders, full adders. You can find a tutorial how to make them elsewhere. They're not that complicated in terms of actually building them, but I don't want to take the time to show you how to do that right now. Okay, this is the really complicated part. We now actually have our answer. We have a 5-bit answer out here, and the range that the output will display is from 0 to 16. It gets sent through a very complicated tangle of wires. It's been a while since I've built this. I cannot remember how it all works. But this is the 16 line. If that's on, it overrides everything else, and it outputs 16. This is the 0 line. It's what's on if everything else is off. Now, this is basically a giant AND gate, sort of. So, if right now all of the outputs are on, but 0 is overriding them all. So, if you say turned on 1, then that would turn off half of the outputs, and 2 would turn off half the outputs, but they're different halves in terms of the bit patterns. I can go into more detail if you wish, but you could probably figure it out for yourself if you write out a list of binary numbers. You can see how the bit patterns work out. This thing, this giant construction, its sole purpose is to sort out which input is farthest to the left. I know there's a better way to do this. I know there has to be, because this is hugely inefficient, but I don't know what it is. So, I eventually just gave up and built this monster. And then it eventually just takes the output here. It's the 16, that's actually the 6th line. 0 doesn't do anything, since 0 is the default. Then 1 goes in the 1 line, so on and so forth. So you end up with 10 lines here, the numbers, the digits 1 through 9. And then this line out right here is the tens line, which will open up that. And then you can watch my 7-segment number display for to know how this decoder works. And it ends up being displayed there. So, if I want to know what 8 plus 1 is, it can proudly tell me that the answer is 9. Thank you, and goodbye. Please rate and comment.